both requiring a service project. This here is the result of that said service project. So it's about 15 minutes long, called Sketches of a Time Abroad. So it's a accumulation kind of around 14 scenes, all kind of about a different aspect of studying abroad, being in London, whatever, lots of different things, basically. So I hope you enjoy. We're going to have a little mini talk back after if y'all have any questions.
Sour, isn't it?
Got in an accident.
Terrible.
Just fell over after work on the pavement.
Did he say why?
Didn't want to go home.
Homesickness?
Well, he was on his way home, wasn't he?
Did they take him to the hospital?
Yes, give him flu. It's gonna be fine.
Is it contagious?
Just mind your feet around him for a few days. It only takes some foreigners, but it's better to be safe.
Poor mate. I hope he sticks around. Good worker.
But it's not fatal though, is it? I like Jim.
I don't know. I think anything untreated could be fatal.
Now that's just bollocks. You can't die with homesickness.
Well, they do always seem to disappear.
You're going the wrong way.
If I go up and around, it says 5 minutes.
You're looking at it backwards.
Maybe if I find the nearest tube? I'll find the street.
You won't have time.
I have time before class starts.
You won't make it.
I'll make it. See those pictures? Pure art. Everything else in this place is shit.
How do you know?
See the colors? It resonates music. Everything else is bland, dull, obsolete, lived its life. It's time to move on, don't you think, to better, brighter things like this picture.
I don't hear anything.
This is why I don't take you places.
I don't want to go outside. But you must. You're in London.
No, but I feel funny. Empty. Ugh, I can't do it.
You need fresh air.
I need more salt. If I eat more salt, my eyes will dry up.
You're being stupid.
Honest.
Why are you sad? You're on an adventure. Do you miss your family, friends?
No.
Do you miss home?
No.
What happened?
I have homework. Tell me. My flatmates are always talking to people. Friends, family. No one has reached out to me to see how my classes are, to see what London is like, to see how I'm doing.
But your family loves you. Your friends love you.
They don't talk to me.
They're giving you space.
I don't need space.
What do you need?
Reminder I'm alive?
Ah. You should write that down, though.
There's rumors.
The ones that go blind?
The ones who come and change and leave blind.
Me?
Yes.
I don't understand.
They come. They see.
And when they leave, they can't. They've changed too much. Everything's dark.
Are you talking about me?
They're only rumors.
I'm leaving soon.
I'll miss your eyes.
believe I'm here.
You're going places, mate.
Am I? What makes you say that?
Look around. The sun gliding through the alleyways, the secret corners, the shops glistening with consumers, the writers writing, the musicians playing music, those London buildings, the mix of old and new, singing inspiration to the young and ambitious. You belong here, dear.
I saw a double-decker bus on fire yesterday.
Did you die?
Sounds like home. A past life, maybe? It was a giant bonfire, a welcoming beacon tingling on my arms, my legs screaming, "Love me, love me!" And I do. I love it. I've never known that kind of love before.
Do you really believe that?
The air is crisp, the sun is bright, and I am finally starting to bloom. Of course I believe it.
What's this place called?
Birmingham Palace.
The Queen lives there.
Yeah.
Will we see her?
No.
Why not?
Doesn't get out much.
Then why are we here?
Changing of the guards.
I don't care about the guards. I want to see royalty. Show me the Queen! Show me the wedding!
It's the next best thing, I guess. I want you to close your eyes and repeat after me.
Repeat after me.
Exactly. Repeat slowly.
Slowly.
Yes.
Yes.
Now keep your eyes closed.
Keep your eyes closed.
I see the world with different colors.
I see the world with different colors.
Colors so beautiful and bright.
Colors so beautiful and bright.
Showcasing
Showcasing
this world's slow destruction. It's disappearing.
the world is disappearing.
Disappearing like fog over the horizon.
Fog over the horizon.
Lifting in a sudden breeze.
Lifting in a sudden breeze like a firefly.
A firefly. Good.
Keep your eyes closed.
Sorry.
Flickering
Flickering fire.
fire. Eyes darkening. I can't see anything.
I can't see anything.
What do you see?
What do you see?
The colors are blinding.
Keep looking.
I knew my lines.
I know.
I messed up somewhere. What did I do wrong? I did what you said.
Yes, you did.
How can I fix it?
Just close your eyes. We'll start again. Repeat after me.
Rubber. Eraser. Full stop.
Pack bag, cigarette,
Period.
jury car,
A type of bird. Trunk.
Table.
motion,
Bring it forward.
bring it back, cups close early, late.
Bring your brolly.
It's going to rain.
I'm more alive than I've ever been.
You're a city guy now, huh?
There are coffee shops and museums on every corner.
Never been so busy.
I love it. There are so many things to see and do. I'm never bored. I'm never trapped in one place.
Is that what home feels like? Like you're trapped.
Sometimes. Not always. I come from a small city town, a suburb. Things happen, but not so many options. Still have markets and art.
But not as grand or impressive.
Right.
I see.
It's liberating. They were right about the independence. I can go anywhere, be anyone. I don't care how others see me. It's like every doubt I've ever had about myself has disappeared. I could just be me. I can finally blossom. I'm confident.
You're radiant.
Thank you. I feel so different here. Like I'm the king of the world. Like I have a destiny, a role to play. All the world's a stage and all the men and women nearly players. And it starts right here. This is where my life truly begins. Hey.
No.
Why?
You're not
What?
my type?
You're sexy. Want a drink?
No, thank you.
Come on. You won't regret it, I promise.
I think I see my girlfriend.
Dance with me.
I have to go.
You really do look nice.
Thank you.
What are you doing later?
Sleeping?
Sure don't want to come home with me?
I'm sure.
Remember me.
Oh, I'll never forget.
You're fidgeting. I don't want to leave. There's nothing to be afraid of.
I'm not afraid.
Terrified then. What's wrong?
I'm different.
So,
I don't know how to behave.
be yourself.
But I don't know who I am.
Have a drink. You'll feel better.
I've had two.
You'll be fine. Stop worrying. Be calm.
Change doesn't work for me.
How did you change?
I feel like a sunflower just about to bloom. But instead, I'm starting to shrivel up inside and rot.
Because you're going home.
It'll be nice to see everyone again.
It's turning.
What?
The wheel?
I was talking about the river.
It's pretty.
What all this
The
is
theater.
The atmosphere.
The markets.
the cheers and the loves.
The
Bookstores.
bookstores.
Did someone say the theater already?
Yes. I'll miss the tube and the red buses.
It was so easy to get everywhere.
There's still so much I haven't explored.
I hope people won't ask me to shut up when we get back home. I want to come back and I haven't even left yet.
They definitely will tell you to shut up. I know I will.
Shut up! Look at the river. So pretty. I'm gonna miss it.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling.
It's not going anywhere.
I know. It's a metaphor for life.
Don't be ridiculous. The bridge is burning, not falling. See? It's nice and tall, still and ornate. Just reds and blues and hot metal. It's iconic.
It's a beautiful day.
It's raining.
Exactly. London Bridge is falling down. Oh, look, the curtain's rising. Hurry, we'll miss the first act.
We can start with if anyone has any questions or suggestions or comments. Yes?
Can I get a picture of you guys instead of Christine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, everybody look curious.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
She'll be great.
Christine was the director of the London Center, or she is the director.
Yeah, she is the director
Yeah,
of
that's
the
her
London Center.
She's dearly loved.
Very dearly loved. Some of us on stage were at the London Center. Not at the same. Oh, Sam and I were.
Yes, raise your
at
hand
the
if you
same-
went to the London Center.
Okay, so we can provide first-hand experience if you guys have questions about that.
Yes.
Can you introduce yourselves? Who's who?
Oh, yes. Okay, so you know me, I'm Haley. Oh, down there.
I'm Eddie. I'm a senior theater arts and Spanish double major.
I'm Dana. I'm a senior theater arts major.
I forgot to say I'm a theater and English major.
Hello, I'm Julissa. I'm a theater arts and innovation entrepreneurship.
I'm Jessenia. I'm a junior anthropology major, ethnic studies minor.
I'm Samantha. I am a theater arts and psychology major.
Any questions? There were a lot of scenes. Did anything not make sense? Yes?
Was this, were those feelings you had and experiences you had while you were in London?
Yes. So everything was a little like loosely based. There were some scenes that were more closer to what I actually experienced, but all of them at least like connected to like a theme of something I felt while in London that I like expanded upon and fictionalized or dramatized a bit. There was a bus that was on fire. If you're curious about that, I did actually see that. It was put out by the time I got there, so it wasn't like a bonfire, but it was very smoky. It was right by where I had my internship, so it was the bus I would have taken. So that was a very fun experience. So that needed to be in the play. Yes. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes?
As the writer-director and did the play look the way you anticipated? As you were standing back there, did you say, yeah? Or did you say,
Yeah, so I was giving cues, so I wasn't really watching that much, but like during the rehearsals and everything in our tech yesterday, yeah, it looked a lot. I mean, I think that there's always a little something because it was very developmental and we were on a time crunch for the last part, but I think it got pulled together in the way that I had anticipated or wanted it to look for the final presentation.
are there certain scenes that you really like and would like to expand on? Because there were certain scenes as I'm watching, I'm thinking, I wish that one went on longer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, that was a very common thought, and I thought, do you, as you're seeing it, think, oh, I couldn't, or nah?
I think I felt that to a certain extent for a lot of them. I knew that I wanted it to be like more short and concise and just really kind of get at the feeling of it, and of the experience rather than to go into more concrete details of it. And I wanted to leave it a bit more abstract so that it would be more relatable to more people. I guess because I was really hoping to aim for people who had studied abroad and try to connect with them, but then also kind of be kind of like an insightful eye for people who want to study abroad and to see kind of like what the experience would be after you come back, like looking back. And I was, when I was in London, I knew I had this proposal already set for my service project, so like as I was there and experiencing, I was like writing notes and things of things that happened that I thought, oh, this would be kind of fun in a show. But I didn't start writing it until the winter break afterwards. And I did a more kind of like free thought, consciousness writing kind of thing. Yeah, mostly because I wanted it to be relatable. But I think that there are definitely a couple that could have gone longer.
Haley, can I say something?
Yes.
So, I studied abroad in Salamanca, Spain, actually, so I didn't have this London experience like a majority of the cast had. But honestly speaking, from personal experience and what Haley was just saying, I like could relate to it as someone who did study abroad, like the depression scene, when Dana's character was saying that no one has reached out to me or to ask me how my classes are to see what London or Spain was like. It was just, speaking from someone who did study abroad, I was able to relate to it and be able to like embody that in certain characters, so I thought that was successful in and of itself.
Yay, I'm glad to hear that. Yes, Annie?
Yeah. Well, I already like kind of gave you my feedback when I first read the script.
Mm-hmm.
I like first read the script I don't know, like halfway through winter term or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh God, this is really real. I've been doing it like a year and a half since I was in Dublin, so it was like a fun little thing. But I have a question, I'm sorry.
Yeah, shoot.
Is there anything, like any sort of like feeling or specific or experience maybe that's even more specific to London that you've thought about including, or that you would include if you turned this into like a longer thing, or like a piece of writing instead of a play, something like that?
Yeah. I hadn't really thought about that. I think like once I had written enough scenes to fill like the time slot I was kind of aiming for, I was like, okay, let's block all the other stuff so that I can just focus on these and edit these and make these the best that they could be by the deadline, kind of thing. I think that there was a lot more that I could have expanded on in like the pub culture there that I experienced, especially because, I mean, the first scene in this show was more about like the idea of homesickness, or people telling me about homesickness before I left, and then kind of like the confusion when I didn't really feel a whole lot of homesickness, because I didn't really, and so like that, and then like kind of making the concept like absurdity kind of it. But I think that there was a lot more that I could have done, and just like, because like when I had my theater class, like we would go and we would use the pubs as a time to like talk and have reflection after we saw a play, and things. And so like that was another like essence where I was like taking from that other experience of like going with friends and like having a drink with them and like exploring like what we just saw on stage, and instead they're talking about this concept about being abroad. I feel like if I thought about it more, I could definitely come up with a few more. Yeah. Yes.
If you had a bigger budget and less constraints, and are there any elements that you wish you could have added to enhance your story, or did you prefer the minimalism of it all?
I mean, so initially, like, I was thinking about going and being an S purpose, which is the one back there, and I really wanted more lights. Well, this show had no budget whatsoever, so like we didn't have to spend any money. It was all just like reserving the room and like venue that Lawrence already had, and just making sure that they had the space available. Yeah, I'd say, I mean, if it was bigger, I'd say for a 15-minute show, I wanted more of the minimalism, because I didn't think that there was, I wanted it to be more about the words, I think. If I had written a longer show, I would have wanted everything. Like more of a set, more costumes, better lights.
A bus on fire.
A bus on fire that went on fire. That would have been pretty good. Oh yes, still goes in my dreams. Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is worth mentioning, but the scene where Julissa and Jessenia are doing the repeat after me, so there's a story behind that. So we were fortunate, Haley and I were fortunate enough to have an instructor named Ashley Scott Layton, bless his heart, and he had this director friend that he had gone to high school with, and he ended up getting us in contact with him. So we had our theater internships there, so we can talk about internships if you'd like, but we went to this director, and I want Haley to tell the story because she's the one who wrote it into the show, but I just think that's really worth mentioning because it was just amazing, because we only saw a rehearsal. We didn't see the actual show. It was a rehearsal. So yeah. Do it, Haley.
Okay. Yeah, so we saw this show. It was called An Oak Tree. It was, I believe it was initially in English, but they translated it into Welsh because it was going to be a Welsh tour in Wales, or Wales tour in Wales. So the play basically is, there's one character who's a hypnotist, and he's memorized and has all the words, and then for every rehearsal and then during the show they would bring in another actor. So then it would be related as like a hypnotist show where the hypnotist character would hand the actor a clipboard with a script, or he would say, repeat after me, or do these things. And like throughout the show, like you realize that the hypnotist had actually killed the actor's daughter in a car accident. But you realize this through like the act of him hypnotizing this man. And so I was really blown away by the concept. And like during the rehearsal, like we read the script in English so we could follow along, but it was in Welsh. And so I really enjoyed that. That was like one of the best shows that I saw in London, even though that was a rehearsal.
And Rodrigo was there.
Yes, and Rodrigo was there, and he was in he was an actor who played in Othello at the Globe that we saw, that we both saw as well. So like we got to see him in all his Shakespeare glory before we saw him in this very modern piece, which was just amazing in itself. So we got to like meet and talk to this amazing guy who was in the Globe's master's program for acting, and yeah, so that scene was based off of that experience and kind of like getting at like the hypnotist thing. So I did want to bring in like something that I saw since I was studying theater there. I wanted to bring in that element of something that I saw that really inspired me, and like to bring that in. So that came in with like the repeat after me's, and then the I knew the lines part of it, and like snapping out of that and that kind of reverse hypnotist thing. Yeah. Yes.
Who were the rumors about? Like other Lawrence students that were there, or?
No. So rumors is just kind of like a play of like how study abroad is going to affect you. So like there's rumors and like how you see yourself, how you see others, how you see your home country when you get back, yeah, and I kind of like in my head I interpreted that as going blind, mostly because I myself was having like a really hard time seeing myself back in the States. And because I felt just like such a different person that I wasn't sure how I would like relate to other people again. And to me that was kind of the equivalent of losing eyesight and not being able to see the future kind of thing. Yes?
You were in London during a time of extreme divisiveness in British society, which has only got worse, as people have probably been seeing in the news. Did you find yourself affected, or did you feel that, or did you find yourself somewhat in a bubble of American students who were sort of looking at this from the outside with a bit more information than CNN, but not much?
So I don't think I was affected a whole ton. I think it was definitely like we had a British life and culture class that kind of like told us what was going on more, and all of our professors are British, so like they kind of talked about it a little bit, and then like I don't know if this happened to you when you were at the rehearsal, but like we talked a lot about it when I was at that rehearsal that I was talking about. And we were just talking about because they wanted to know all about Trump. So then I asked about Brexit. And
yeah, so I think the biggest thing about being there, so the fall term this year, was the hot topic was Brexit. But the moment they hear you speak, they're like, "You're American. Oh my gosh, keep talking." Like, and I feel like they were a little bit more fond of us than I thought they'd be. But they were more interested in knowing about American politics. So it was a weird, like I went to, I think it was like the equivalent of like a Pinkberry, and someone was serving me yogurt, and they were like, "Oh, you're American, where are you from, blah, blah," and I told him I was Mexican American. He's like, "Oh, so they don't like Mexican people in America, do they?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a hot topic." So, I mean, it definitely was a weird like sharing of culture in those moments where they really wanted to know more about us. And the whole Brexit fiasco had been so, like, it was just so intense that a lot of people felt either very strongly about it or did not want to touch the subject. So it was hard to ask, so if they didn't initiate it, then I personally just didn't. I was just like, I don't understand. I'm gonna stay out of this. I can barely explain our own country, so.
Yeah, yeah. Did any of you have anything else to say about that question? Any other questions, comments?
I have something to say actually.
Yeah.
I didn't go abroad yet, but I did go back and forth from the United States to the Dominican Republic, and every time I would spend over a month there, like coming back, felt like I was blind, like I couldn't see the future, and I was like, wait, now I have to think in English, I have to talk in English, like what if they think I'm different, and like they aren't gonna relate to me the same way that they did before, and like just felt like so weird and different. But then coming back and like getting used to not speaking in Spanish and like reducing my accent was a thing.
Yeah. Awesome. Are there any other questions? All right, well, I just want to thank you all so much for
make it last, try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the black. Sleepless nights and headaches stack, restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose, what do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need.